Let's study Merchant of Venice, Act 5, Scene 1, the final scene, the anticlimax of the drama. In Act 4, we saw the court scene where Porsha saved Antonio and turned the tables on Shylock. Now everybody's heading towards Belmont. The scene starts with Lorenzo and Jessica having a romantic conversation on a moonlit night. These are the characters who will appear in this order in this scene. Lorenzo starts with the story of Cressida and Troilus. They're trying to pull each other's leg. Now, Cressida was captured by the Greeks. She was a Trojan. And Troilus too was a Trojan. They were in love with each other. But since Cressida was in a Greek tent, Troilus would climb the walls of Troy, which were impenetrable, and he would give loving sighs to Cressida. Initially, Cressida responded, but later on, Cressida fell in love with a Greek and proved her disloyalty. Then, Jessica replies with a story about Thisbe and Paramus. They were also lovers. Their parents were not approving of their relationship, so they used to meet secretly in a garden. Once they decided to meet near a tomb, Thisbe reached first and she saw the shadow of a lion. So she got scared and she ran away from there. But while doing that, a part of her clothing, that is a mantle, just fell off. But the lion, who had recently eaten an ox, had blood smeared on his face. So when he saw the mantle, he attacked it, and some of the blood was transferred onto the cloth. And he went away. Then came Paramus, and when he saw the blood-stained mantle belonging to Thisbe, and he heard the roar of the lion, he thought that the lion must have eaten Thisbe. Due to which he was extremely disappointed and dejected. He had no more purpose in life, and he killed himself for no reason, apparently. Then Thisbe came, and she saw her lover dead. So even she felt that there was no point in living, and she killed herself as well. Now, Lorenzo replies with another story of Queen Dido of the kingdom called Carthage, it's an island, and Aeneas. Now, Aeneas had escaped Troy when the Greeks finally managed to capture Troy by putting in a Trojan horse. Then he reached Carthage, and Queen Dido took him in. She was very hospitable towards him, and they fell in love with each other. However, one morning Aeneas was reminded of his duty, that he had a mission. So early in the morning, he caught a ship and escaped from there. Dido was heartbroken. She was standing at the shore with a wooden willow in her hand, waiting at Aeneas to come back. Finally, she jumped into a fire and killed herself because she could not bear Aeneas leaving her. The next story is spoken by Jessica. It's about Medea and Aeson. It's a strange story. Medea knows how to deal with magic herbs. And she's the wife of Jason, by the way, the same Jason who had won the Golden Fleece in the kingdom of Colchis with the help of Argonauts. Even Medea had helped him. Now, for some reason, Jason isn't there, and his father, Aeson, is present, and he's quite old. So Medea gives him a magic potion and turns Aeson young again. That is her father-in-law, young again. I have no idea why she did that. But as these stories were being spoken, Stephano, one of the servants, entered with a message from Porsha that they had been in the monastery for quite some time, and finally they are coming back to the mansion. So Lorenzo is happy to hear this news that the mistress has come. I wonder how happy he is. And he asked Stephano to play some music to welcome Porsha and Nerissa. Then Launcelot arrives, stating that even Bassanio, Antonio, and Gratiano were on their way to the mansion. Now, at this time, Jessica says that whenever she listens to music, she feels sad. So Lorenzo explains to her that that is because music overwhelms us. It heightens our emotions. It has the power to tame an untamed horse. It has the power to move mountains and rocks and rivers, as was mentioned by poet Ovid when he was describing a musician called Orpheus. Lorenzo says that if anybody is not moved by music, then he must be an evil, conspiring person, hinting at Shylock. Then Porsha and Nerissa arrive. They could hear the music. They philosophize a bit before being welcomed by Lorenzo in the house. Soon, Bassanio, Gratiano, and Antonio arrive at the scene. Bassanio starts off with praising Porsha for being a beacon of light in the darkness, so much that she could brighten an entire hemisphere of the planet. That's always a good way to greet your better half. Now, while they were talking, Gratiano seems to be arguing with Nerissa. When Porsha asks him why, Gratiano said that Nerissa is complaining that the ring which was given by her was not kept by him. He explains that he had given the ring to one clerk in Venice during the court scene, but Nerissa is not willing to believe it. Nerissa feels that Gratiano must have given it to some lady in Venice. Porsha frowns upon this. She says that we should keep one's promise, and she would never expect Bassanio to do any such thing. Bassanio is feeling anxious to reveal that he also has given away his ring to the judge, that is, Porsha herself, in the guise of Balthazar, who had saved Antonio in the previous scene. That is Act 4, Scene 1. So when Porsha discovers this, she feigns to be very angry. She knows that it is a prank on him. But Bassanio is extremely scared, and he tries to explain to her why he had to give away the ring. But Porsha was very upset with him, and she says that just like he did not keep his promise and gave the judge whatever he demanded, similarly, if the judge ever demands anything from her, then she would freely give it to the judge. So she's teasing him. At that time, Antonio feels guilty. He feels that the situation has arisen because of him, so he apologizes, but Porsha tells him that he is not to be blamed. In fact, Antonio says that in the past he had pledged his body for Bassanio's sake, and this time he's willing to pledge his soul to make sure that Bassanio never deliberately breaks his promise to Porsha. At this time, Porsha gives Antonio a ring and asks him to give it to Bassanio with a vow that he would never lose it ever again. Now, when Bassanio receives it, he's quite surprised because it was exactly the same ring which he had given to Balthazar, that is Porsha in disguise. That's when Porsha reveals the truth, that she was the lawyer in disguise and she had been playing a prank on Bassanio, and Nerissa had been playing a prank on Gratiano. She also brings good news. She gives the documents, that is a will signed by Shylock, to Jessica and Lorenzo, stating that after Shylock dies, his entire property, that is half with Shylock and half with Antonio, will go to them. She also brings news to Antonio that not all his ships, 6 ships, had wrecked. Actually, only 3 had wrecked, and the remaining 3 have arrived at the harbor, although with a delay. So he's not totally bankrupt. And then they all decide to go in and over food discuss this matter further. And the final comment obviously had to come from Gratiano, who said that he will fear no other thing more than keeping Nerissa's ring safe. Hi students, this is AJ sir. If you like this video, press the like button. If you would like to enroll for my online test series or online lectures, email me or message me on Instagram. Check the description for more information.